They'll always call her Wicked, but maybe they should be asking why.
After Wicked spent over 20 years casting a spell on Broadway fans, the long-awaited live-action movie finally hit theaters last year. And let me tell you, it delivered. But hold on to your broomsticks, because the story isn't over yet, my pretties. Starring Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba and Ariana Grande as Glinda, Wicked Part 1 dropped on November 22, 2024. After 3 years of build-up, and wow, did it live up to the hype. It shattered box office records, becoming the highest-grossing Broadway musical adaptation ever. And the soundtrack was a total mic drop moment. With fresh takes on Stephen Schwartz's 2003 score, it debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200. The best opening for a stage-to-screen adaptation in history. Talk about defying gravity, am I right? But let's be real. Fans were immediately thirsty for more. The first half of the story teased us with just enough drama, magic, and flying monkeys to leave everyone impatient for Part 2. Thankfully, Universal didn't keep us hanging for too long. In December 2024, they officially revealed the sequel's title, Wicked for Good, and according to director John M. Chu, who originally announced the two-part split back in 2022, this was always the plan. He promised more space to dive deep into the characters' journeys and bring even bigger surprises to Oz. A lot of Part 2's details are still locked away tighter than the gates of the Emerald City, but luckily for you, we've got some Wicked details to share. So, buckle up, because here's everything we know about Wicked for Good so far. If you've seen the Wicked stage musical, you're already familiar with the drama that's about to go down in the second movie. So, spoiler alert to those who haven't. Elphaba's fully leaning into her misunderstood but doing the right thing role as she pushes for animal rights, while the people of Oz just don't seem to get it. Meanwhile, Glinda's being elevated as the wizard's perfect puppet while Fiyero reconnects with Elphaba, and the two finally admit their feelings for each other. All of this builds to a messy, emotional reunion between the two witches, right before a certain Kansas girl does her thing with a bucket of water. Now, while John M. Chu is bringing in some brand new scenes, we can bet the core of the storyline is sticking close to the original Broadway version. Much like the second act of the Broadway show, Wicked for Good is about to take us into much darker and twistier territory. And when I say darker, I mean dark. This is where things really start to get messy. John M. Chu told Variety in January, "If audience members are following the emotions of this movie, they'll walk with us." So, brace yourselves. While Part 1 was all about the shiny, feel-good moments at Shiz and the thrill of new friendships, Part 2 is diving deep into the chaos stirred up by the decisions made in that epic, defying gravity moment. Glinda stayed, Elphaba left, and now things are spiraling. As Chu told Entertainment Weekly, if Part 1 is about choices, Part 2 is about consequences. And let's be real, those consequences are going to be anything but pretty. Chu went on to say, "It can be lonely, it can be hard," speaking to the emotional weight that's about to hit. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. He also promised we'll still get some lightness and fun moments, going on to say they haven't forgotten about the fun, but now there's a maturity and nuance that comes from the foundation built in the first movie. When it comes to the iconic music of Wicked, we can definitely expect Wicked for Good soundtrack to deliver all the classic hits from the Broadway show, from the powerful No Good Deed to the tear-jerking Elphaba and Glinda duet, For Good. And Grande and Erivo have been hyping up what might be the sequel's biggest musical moment. And yep, it's the number that inspired the movie's title. Grande recently opened up about the music, revealing that the scene leading into For Good and what comes after is, as she put it, quite a meal. I mean, if they can outdo the defying gravity sequence from the first movie, then oh boy are we in for a treat. And just to add to the anticipation, composer for Wicked Stephen Schwartz has confirmed that we're also getting not one, but 2 brand new tracks written just for the movie. Now, you die-hard Wicked fans might be thinking, but why mess with perfection, right? Well, if anyone knows what they're talking about, it's Schwartz. Speaking with The Messenger in December 2024, he explained that the story needed new songs, and so they were created, adding that the intention was that they were organic and not imposed on the movie. Erivo's already teasing that one of these new songs, sung by Elphaba, is going to wreck us emotionally. Speaking on Variety's Awards Circuit podcast, she said, "I don't know if you're ready for it." She went on to call it very, very special and hinted that even the title alone might leave us in bits. So yeah, tissues at the ready, folks. Alright, we've talked a lot about Glinda and Elphaba because obviously they deserve it. But there's another massive character in this universe we've barely seen so far. That's about to change. Yep, I'm talking about the Dorothy Gale herself. In Wicked Part 1, we only got the briefest glimpse of Dorothy, rocking her iconic pigtails and blue gingham dress as she strolled down the yellow brick road with the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion. And even then, we only saw her from behind. Tease much? But director John M. Chu let slip to Screen Rant in November 2024 that Dorothy's role is about to expand big time in Wicked for Good. Chu explained that in Part 1, they intentionally kept Dorothy vague, saying, "I didn't want to step on your images of whatever version of Dorothy you wanted her to be." Still, he confirmed that Dorothy's presence is crucial. She plays a significant role in what's coming and how everything intersects. Chu teased, "You'll just have to wait and see how far we go with her in Part 2. Some fans are already speculating that Dorothy might even snag one of the brand new songs being added to pad out the plot in Wicked for Good. But what do you think? Should Dorothy get her own song in the sequel? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And aside from what Dorothy's role will be in the movie, the main question on everyone's lips is, who the heck will play her? Well, rumor has it that Matilda the musical actress Alicia Weir is set to step into her ruby slippers. The buzz kicked off on social media after Alicia was spotted at a few Wicked screenings before the movie's release. She also hit up the European premiere in London, where she rocked a pair of silver shoes.
Pretty suspicious, eh?
Fans were quick to connect the dots to Dorothy's iconic footwear from the musical. Coincidence? Maybe. But when has the internet ever let a detail like that slide? And that's all we've got for now on Wicked for Good. Of course, we'll be keeping our eyes peeled for any more juicy details as they come in. In the meantime, let me know what you're most excited about for the sequel. Are you ready for more Elphaba and Glinda drama? Or are you all about Dorothy's big reveal? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're hyped for the release of Wicked for Good. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.